This is 69 News, live at 5.
Heavy rain has come and gone, and while some people are already cleaning up from today's flooding, other people are keeping an eye on what the region's rivers and streams will do next. We have team coverage of the region's flooding for you. WFMZ's Joscelyn Moes standing by at the confluence of the Delaware and the Lehigh rivers in Easton, and Stephanie Esposito is farther up the river at Sans Eddy in Lower Mount Bethel Township, Northampton County. But first, let's get the very latest on the conditions from Chief Meteorologist Ed Hanna.
Thanks so much to all of you, not only for your emails and totals, but for watching us, staying with us right through before the first raindrops started falling and right on through the duration of the event, as we continue to, and we will be giving you updates on river stage data as we continue to watch the Delaware, as it looks like it's going to crest tomorrow afternoon. Again, stay tuned frequently here to WFMZ and, of course, the AccuWeather channel. Real quickly, obviously, the steady rain continues to move away. Still a couple lingering showers here in just the far northern tip of New Jersey. As far as totals are concerned, really unbelievable amounts. Anywhere from just under 3 inches, all the way up to 8 inches of rain throughout our viewing area. And while that sounds like a lot, Wilmington, North Carolina, over the last 4 days has picked up 20 inches of rain. Unbelievable amounts. And if you take this, and it's been eerily similar to Floyd back in 1999, if you followed the same rain amounts, very similar amounts. And as far as the track is concerned, take a look here. Lehigh River already crested. Bethlehem is the only one not officially crested yet, but all those other have crested, and we're starting to see the levels drop. Reading, 11.9. That one has not crested as of yet, but we suspect that's going to start to drop here over the next couple of hours. Delaware River, different story. Of course, Tox Island looking like it's going to crest tomorrow afternoon about 3 feet above. At Belvedere, of course, looks like that's going to be just below the flood stage. Easton, again, keep in mind that when you go back to the flood years of 04 through 06, we had some flooding at Easton that you were talking about 33 to 37 feet. So we're talking about a crest of 27 feet. That said, if we get to 27 feet, that would put it in the top 10 as far as historical flooding events for Easton. Take a look at Trenton, 20.9. Real quickly, can we pull up that graphic? I want to be able to show you. This is the forecast. This is where we are right now as far as the Easton stage. This is the forecasted crest, 27 feet, which would put it at moderate flood stage. Obviously, lots more details on your forecast. Wendy, back to you.
All right. Thank you so much, Ed. Let's go to Joscelyn Moes now. She is live in Easton. She has more on the flooding damage so far today. Joscelyn.
Wendy, standing here, you really get a sense of how powerful the river is, or in this case, rivers. This is where the Lehigh River meets the Delaware River in Easton. The Delaware River, as Ed mentioned, is expected to crest at more than 27 feet. That's 5 feet above the flood stage of 22 feet. Now, that's expected to happen sometime tomorrow afternoon. But this afternoon, people have been coming down here to take a look. A river's fury.
I think it's awesome, but it's also very frightening.
They've seen the depth of its power before.
I hope the people down the river are okay. I hope it doesn't go over and hurt them. They just got everything back together again.
Still, they're drawn to it.
But I don't know what exactly we're looking for, or just to see the difference in what water can do. It's pretty amazing.
While people watch and wait to see what happens all along the Delaware, people in surrounding communities had some flooding fears realized. But all in all, no major damage. The heavy rain forced the closure of Route 412 in Bethlehem this morning. Route 309 was also closed for a short time between I-78 and 378. Despite the downpours, the National Weather Service says damage could have been much worse if the region hadn't already been suffering from a summer drought. Again, the Delaware River is expected to crest here in Easton tomorrow afternoon, 24 hours from now at 27 feet. So people here are definitely watching and waiting. Reporting live from Easton, Joscelyn Moes, 69 News.
All right. Thanks, Joscelyn. Let's go to Stephanie now. And Steph, what are residents who live along the Delaware coastline doing to prepare for even more possible flooding?
Wendy, it's really tough to believe that just a few weeks ago, New Jersey was dealing with droughts. Now the shores of both New Jersey and Pennsylvania are threatened by the waters of the Delaware River.
Most people really like the rain, and us, we just freeze in terror because it's just, such a scary thing.
They say it happens slowly until it reaches their homes.
You keep on putting on each floor or in a high ground or wherever you can, and then eventually if it gets real bad, like in the past, you have to get a rental truck.
Right in that corner over there was a shed, 20 by 40 foot shed. We came back the next day, it was gone.
When the waters leave, they take everything with them.
And then the water goes out, and it's just mud and silt and mold and fish.
Sands Eddy is one of the lowest points on the Delaware River. So the people who live here know that when the river is predicted to rise, it's time to start packing.
My boss is down getting another rig to take everything out of there.
People started clearing out their furniture and other belongings today. They say when the Delaware floods, it's expensive and heartbreaking, especially now that they know what's coming.
$60,000 kitchen, it's just going to go.
It's hard. And it's not like it comes up. It's just slow, slow.
Stay with us tonight at 6. I'll have even more on how people are preparing for possible flooding here on the Delaware River. Live in Sands Eddy, Stephanie Esposito, 69 News.
All right. Thank you, Stephanie. Well, meantime, in Salisbury Township, Lehigh County, flood waters have done a number on Walking Purchase Park. Officials say heavy rains washed out a bridge at the park entrance here on Cardinal Drive. This is on the south side of the park near Fountain Hill. Officials say people can only enter the park from the west on Constitution Drive. They say they don't know how long it will take to fix the bridge. Well, there have been plenty of road closures out there because of the flooding. So, Rick, let's get right to you to get the very latest.
All right, we only have a handful left around the Lehigh Valley area. 512 is one of them. That's going to be a headache here for the ride home. 512 is closed from Hanoverville Road up to Bath Borough. So you're going to have to use Airport Road and Norbath Boulevard if you want to travel between those 2 points. But in West Easton Borough, Lehigh Drive is still closed. Riverside Drive, Shimersville Road in Lower Saucon, Mertztown Road in Lower Macungie, and Mill Creek Road in Lower Macungie Township. Those are the only road closures left officially being reported. We do have some crashes working in the region. 191 in Nazareth, a crash just reported right in the borough there, South Broad Street at Prospect Street. And a crash in North Bethlehem on Linden Street, south of the 22 interchange between Oakland Road and Johnston Drive. That should be just about cleaned up. There may still be some activity on the side of the road through there. And some utility wires down in Bethlehem Township on Easton Avenue at Farmersville Road. As we look at 22 with the heavy eastbound congestion toward the bridge, and then westbound jammed up here in the Bethlehem area. So usual business and a little heavier, of course, because it's Friday. We're ready for the weekend. To the north on 80 into New Jersey, we had a tractor-trailer problem that lasted all day, an overturned tractor-trailer and a big fuel spill about 12 miles in. That has been reopened, but we still have an area of congestion. 78 and 22. Both decent rides in and out of New Jersey. No reported problems on the Turnpike Northeast Extension. Some earlier crashes there by Mid-County. All clear. That's your traffic report. Buckle up, please, and drive safely. Let's get back down to Wendy.
Very good. Thanks, Rick. Well, the storm system that has brought heavy rains and flooding here to the Lehigh Valley has been causing problems elsewhere on the East Coast as well. The storm made its way into New England today, bringing with it torrential downpours, damaging winds. The storm has resulted in major delays at the airports up and down the East Coast. It's also causing some serious flooding, especially in places like the suburbs of Philadelphia and in Newark, New Jersey. Well, don't forget to stay tuned to 69 News and the 24-hour AccuWeather channel for the very latest information. We'll have up-to-the-minute details on the weather conditions, the river levels, and much, much more. And, of course, you can get the latest information anytime by going to our website, WFMZ.com. Impressive rain hammered the region and caused the Schuylkill to rise nearly 8 feet since yesterday. But the good news tonight, folks along the riverbanks and Berks have been spared. And a financial storm is brewing in City Hall. Reading's mayor has presented his budget proposal for next year to City Council. Calls for tax hikes and job cuts. Good evening, I'm Wendy Davis. Rob is off tonight. First at 5:30, Reading City Council members are getting their days of rain saturated the ground, filled the Schuylkill to the brink, and pushed creeks and streams over their banks. Let's get the very latest now on the storm from Chief Meteorologist Ed Hanna.
Thanks, Wendy, so much. And for all of you that took time to send emails, how much rainfall you got, thanks so much. Really always appreciate that, especially that occurs during snow events. But during a big event like this, definitely got lots of emails. So thank you so much. Satellite Doppler radar, you see this moisture moving away. Still have a couple lingering showers in the far northern tip of New Jersey, but that's obviously moving away. Most parts of the area, at least throughout Berks, 5 to 6 inches of rain. There were some places that did get locally heavier amounts. Some places not too far to the west getting less than 3 inches. So amazing how those bands affect who gets what and how much. As far as the Lehigh River, towards in the Lehigh Valley, everything has crested. Levels are receding now. For the Schuylkill River, everything has now crested. We were waiting for the Reading, at the Reading station. The measuring station was broke since 5 a.m. yesterday morning, but we verified now that levels are now receding there as well. So Bern, Reading, Pottstown, all receding. If you're interested in the Delaware River, of course, lots of folks there. That won't crest until tomorrow afternoon as all these smaller creeks and streams feed into the Delaware. Of course, you can see that there will be some significant flooding there, but nothing like stages back in 2006 and some of the flooding that we had in earlier years. But we could see top 10, at least make it in the top 10 or top 15 as far as some of those stations are concerned. So some significant flooding there as well, more in the moderate stage rather than major. We'll give you more details as far as your weekend forecast coming up.
All right, thanks, Ed. Well, the river got a lot of attention during that rainstorm, but in the end, it was the roads around Berks County that saw the most problems. WFMZ's Melissa Fullerton has a look at the aftermath from the wet weather. The rain had the opposite effect, slowing and in some cases stopping traffic on several roads around Berks. Some proceeded at their own risk, despite the fact that Monocacy Creek Road here in Amity Township was closed for several hours. The driver of this SUV got in over his head, literally, while trying to drive through water on Route 61 in Onalani Township. Police in Kumru Township say a 72-year-old woman lost control of her car in the rain Thursday night. The car went into this creek near Moton Boulevard and East Wyomissing Boulevard. According to police on the scene, the woman is okay, but was stuck in the car for about 8 hours before crawling to safety in the daylight. And then there were these two in Pottstown, Montgomery County.
Stay right there. We'll be there in a couple minutes.
Rescue crews say the pair were stranded in waist-deep water on College Drive near Montgomery County Community College early Friday morning. The two were taken to the hospital after the ordeal, but are expected to be fine. Despite the initial predictions of severe flooding, the Schuylkill River didn't even reach its flood stage, which is 13 feet. And to the delight of many, it stayed well within its banks.
Everybody was ready in case we had to make any moves.
Reading's emergency management coordinator says better safe than sorry.
Weather is so completely unpredictable. There's been areas that have had almost a foot of rain out of this event, and we were just lucky we weren't one of them.
Melissa Fullerton, 69 News. And you can go to our website, WFMZ.com, to check out a photo gallery with pictures of the flooding from all around the region, plus an hour-by-hour breakdown of the forecast. Straight into the floodwaters. When officers arrived at the scene, they, along with the firefighters, tried to reach her, but the rushing current kept them back.
State trooper was standing on the bridge there, and it was right down, straight down, but they didn't have a diver with the crew, so nobody could go in the water.
Yeah, it's a shame. I don't think she had a chance. He just washed her right down into the creek.
Once the water receded, officials were able to recover the body. At this point, they are not releasing the woman's name. Well, flooding led to other close calls around the region as well, and in some places, the worst may still be yet to come. We have live team coverage tonight. Stephanie Esposito is standing by along the Delaware River in Lower Mount Bethel Township, Northampton County. But first, we're going to check in with Joscelyn Moes. She is live in Easton. Joscelyn.
Wendy, people here in Easton are watching and waiting. The raging river is certainly a sight to see. We are where the Delaware and Lehigh rivers meet. The Delaware is expected to crest sometime tomorrow afternoon at 27 feet. Now that's 5 feet above flood stage. This afternoon, people have been coming down here to take a look.
It's just so moving, so powerful.
And so dangerous. People along the Delaware know all too well what it can do.
I hope the people down the river are okay. I hope it doesn't go over and hurt them. They just got everything back together again.
The Delaware is supposed to crest sometime tomorrow afternoon, 5 feet above flood stage.
The river goes from a peaceful, kind of serene thing to something like this.
This comes as people in surrounding communities had some of their flooding fears already realized. Lancaster County was soaked by the storm. This was the scene yesterday after a woman drove her SUV through some water and got stuck. Firefighters had to rescue her with a ladder truck.
Stay right there.
A man and a woman in Pottstown, Montgomery County also required rescue. Crews took a boat to get to them out of waist-deep floodwaters. In Bethlehem, floodwaters closed part of Route 412, and Route 309 was closed for a short time between I-78 and 378. Now back out here live, the flooding isn't expected to be as bad as what we saw along the Delaware a few years ago. Now again, the Delaware River is expected to crest tomorrow afternoon at 27 feet. Reporting live from Easton, Joscelyn Moes, 69 News.
All right, thanks, Joscelyn. Well, an elderly woman in Berks County escaped injury after this. Police say 72-year-old woman was trapped for more than 8 hours in her car after it crashed into this creek in Cumru Township. Happened around 11 o'clock last night, and it wasn't until 7:30 this morning that she managed to push down a window and crawl out. Well, drivers had to steer clear of several roads in Carbon County. County Line Road was off limits near the border of West Penn and Mahoning Townships because of the rising waters from the Mahoning Creek, and the Lizard Creek also posed problems for drivers in East Penn Township. Well, the rain may be moving out, but the Delaware River hasn't stopped rising, and residents are rushing to prepare for more possible floods tonight and tomorrow. Stephanie Esposito has more on that. She is at Santa Edi in Lower Mount Bethel Township, Northampton County. Steph.
Well, Wendy, the weather here is absolutely beautiful. There's very few clouds in the sky. There's a lot of sun out here, but the water in the Delaware is rising. And if the predictions are correct, this time tomorrow, exactly where I'm standing will be underwater.
You have to act very fast, and you call your friends and they have trucks and everybody grabs a room.
Susie Kilbank's family has been living on the Delaware River for 80 years. She knows all about flooding, but this time she's prepared.
My house is elevated, so I think I'm out of the floodplain for now. Not that it couldn't get in my basement.
Just down the block on Route 611 in Forks Township, her neighbor, Dean Brown, is starting to clear out his basement.
I know it's going to be in my basement. If it's 5 feet above flood stage in Easton, I'm looking at maybe in my kitchen area.
As they moved their things, they remembered how high the river rose last time.
We can't take the chance. There's just too much material sitting in there.
And some of them say this isn't just the work of Mother Nature.
It has to be fed from an alternate source.
It's been an ongoing problem for years. Some on the Delaware say when dams don't coordinate the release of their water, homes get ruined.
Now there's no rain up there. Yes, they're going to blame it on the creeks coming in, yada, yada, but they are dumping. When they dump, it raises the river.
The river is expected to crest tomorrow afternoon. Live in San Zeddy, Stephanie Esposito, 69 News.
All right, thanks, Stephanie. Well, business owners near the Schuylkill River in Reading are no doubt breathing easier tonight. Despite initial predictions of flooding, the river did not reach flood stage. Yesterday, officials had warned business owners that they might need to move to higher ground, but this morning they got the word that they could stay put. All right, let's get the latest now on the river levels around the region. We're going to head over to Ed, and I understand they're changing, Ed. They're changing rapidly. In fact, the forecasted crest for the Delaware River have just literally moments ago been adjusted, and I don't want to, a word of caution. Let's just kind of keep a close eye on this, but they've been reduced. Let's take a look here real quickly at what we've got. Of course, the rain has come to an end. There's still a couple lingering showers in just the far northern tip, past just beyond Sussex, New Jersey. That's moving away. Looks like things drying out. Of course, most parts of our area on the low side, just under 3 inches, all the way up, exceeding 8 inches in some locations. Lehigh River, everything's crested. Of course, those levels are receding. Schuylkill River, much the same. Levels have crested. They are receding. You can see those current levels now well under flood stage. Delaware River, you're the first to see this. This is just literally been released. You can see Tox Island, the forecasted crest has now been reduced to 22.4 feet, just above flood stage. Belvedere going to be below flood stage. Easton now forecasted to crest at 24.4 feet. The flood stage 22. It was previously forecasted to crest at 27 feet. That's now been reduced to 24.4 feet. Of course, that would put it about 10 to 12 feet below the levels of 2006, 2007. And again, Trenton's been lowered as well to just about flood stage. That is good news. Of course, we got to keep a close and watchful eye on that in case that those forecasted crests are increased. But right now, a little bit of good news. Wendy, back to you. Thank you, Ed. An apparent gas explosion has damaged a resort in Carbon County. It happened this morning at the sports complex at Split Rock Lodge. That's in Kidder Township. At this point, police are not releasing many details. It's also not clear